Warning: Geeking Toyetic is a show aimed at the adult collector, and as such features adult language and humor that is not appropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Larry Roberts here, Geeking Poetic podcast channel. And do I got a little music? Yeah, I still got a little music behind me. What's going on? Welcome. This is kind of a last-minute episode. Really wasn't planning on doing. Well, I take that back. I've been planning on doing this for quite a while now, but I wasn't planning on doing it tonight. We had a change of some plans, some aggravating filming plan changes for stuff we were going to work on, and it didn't happen. So said, well, you know what? I've been building up all these packages of toys for a Geeking Toyetic episode to unbox them live on camera because, I don't know, it seems like a fun way to do it. I mean, getting toys is fun, but opening it with other people, even if you're just on the other end of a screen somewhere, for me is a lot of fun. So I decided, hey, why not? Let's do a new Toyetic episode where I unbox all of these, especially because as I went and I said, okay, let me gather up these boxes that I've been saving. Man, there's a lot of them. I didn't even realize I had so many. And then as I'm looking at them, I'm realizing that there's some that I have been holding for weeks, to say the least, probably months, actually. There's a few things I got here like around the end of the summer or somewhere around about there that I just put aside and said, oh yeah, I'll get to that later, because I know you see all these toys and things behind me all the time. Let me tell you folks at home, this is just a fraction of what I have. I have a lot of toys and I don't have a lot of room. As such, I have actually slowed down on ordering new toys. But I still have stuff coming in because a lot of this stuff is stuff that I ordered. I mean, anybody out there, if you've ordered stuff, especially lately with the way things take anymore with pre-orders and shipping delays and all that stuff. If any of you are into that kind of stuff, you know that you can order new toys and they won't ship to you for like a year, sometimes longer. I've got one thing I know that I ordered. Oh man, I don't even remember how many months ago it was. Probably 10 months ago. Maybe even more than that. And I just found out that it's not going to come to me until like April or May or something like that. So it's going to take like a year and a half to get this toy. So anyway, so a lot of this stuff that you're going to see here are not necessarily brand new things that you've never heard of before. A lot of these things were announced a long time ago. A lot of these things were things that I've talked about on past episodes of Geeking Toyetic. And they just over the last, again, several weeks finally started coming in. So now Megan's in the chat. So we got Megan and we got me. So we got the two of us. We're just going to look at toys. Nobody else cares. But anyway, yeah, this is a live stream thing, obviously, for those that are watching it live. If you watch this later, then you know, you can leave comments in the comments section below or something like that if you have questions or comments about it. But for you that are possibly tuning in live to this, I highly encourage you to join in on the Livestream Chat. I have it here for me to see. So if you have questions or you have things you want to bring up, please do. In the meantime, let's just get right to it. I think I'm just gonna start unboxing right now. So here we go. All right. There's my silly little unboxing intro thing. All right. I don't even know where to start. I'm really ridiculous with this stuff. Let me tell you, I'm so glad that I've slowed down. You're going to watch this video and go, Larry, it doesn't look like you've slowed down. Well, believe me, I've slowed down a lot. I was getting really crazy with buying the new toys, and I just, you know what, they're getting too expensive, and they're just too much anymore. I don't need all of this. There's still a lot of really cool stuff coming out that I care about, but ultimately, I need to slow down. So this is probably going to be one of the very last times I'm going to have this kind of a haul for a unboxing video. Oh, also, and for those that are going to want to see some of this stuff up close, I do have a close-up camera here that I will switch on when need be. Okay. All right, so this first box, this comes from Hasbro Pulse, and it's something, one of the things, I ordered this quite a while ago, and I've been looking forward to seeing this. I've seen other people, I've seen my friends Jason and them in Cracktastic Plastic on their group and stuff talking about this, these new Joes that have been coming out. They're very mostly Transformer centric over there, but there's a lot of Joe talk. Oh man, this looks really cool. And what is it? It is the Cobra Night Attack 4-wheel drive, otherwise known as the Stinger, and it has the Cobra Officer driver here. And man, this thing, as you could tell, this is part of that. This is part of that line that for a while there was, I don't think it is anymore. Well, maybe it is. It was exclusive to Walmart. Like I know I had gotten the Striker or whatever it was, Jeep and the other figures. As you can see, I'll do a close-up of this for you, but this has the retro style figure, the old school 80s style figure here. I'll put this down here. And I am going to open up the close-up camera for you. So, yeah, that should work. Here you go. Yeah, the light really is shining on this. And hey, Kerry Gordon's in here. Go, Joe. Right on, man. Yeah. Come on, we grew up with these toys, and even for those of us that maybe, I'm sure there's going to be people in here that say, well, I wasn't around in the 80s when some of these things first came out, but a lot of us grew up with them after the fact. They got hand-me-downs, and I mean, Joe just, it's gone through different waves of popularity, but it's never really gone away. So anyway, here is, I'm trying to get it without the glare. Yeah, this is it. It's got the old style artwork on there. I think I still have a whole bunch of these missiles laying around in a box over here, the original ones, you know. But I don't have this original vehicle from the 80s, so getting this this retro one is super cool, man. It's got the old file card there. Yeah. Very, very excited. I just get excited about seeing this old box style again, like when I walk into Walmart. Even if I already have these things and I see them on the shelf, I kind of like light up for a second, even, you know. Makes me want to buy it again. I'm not going to buy it again. I can barely afford one, much less getting multiple ones. But, yep, I think that was a successful purchase. I really like that one. All right, we got more people showing up. Okay, Mom's in there. Cousin Chris. Hi, Chris. How you doing? Hope you guys had a fun time yesterday. Even though the Bears lost, but Detroit won. And so it was kind of a win-win situation for us, wasn't it? I have a cousin, I don't know what Chase would be, a third cousin, something like that. I have a cousin that plays on the Detroit Lions, and they were in town yesterday, and Detroit won. So sucks that Chicago lost, but happy for the Lions. Anyway, Carrie's here, as I said. Scott, hey Scott, what's going on? The 80s metal man himself. How's it going? All right, yeah. Let me. I got a lot to open, so I better keep my incessant rambling down to a minimum. Now, this one, the fun thing about this is that some of these I got so long ago. Like, this one's been sitting down here waiting to be opened. I must have got this probably like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago, something like that. It doesn't have a post date on it, but this is from Target, and I don't remember what it is. So This should be interesting. So let's see. Excuse me while I whip this out. That was a little Blazing Saddles reference for you. I don't think people are allowed. You can't watch Blazing Saddles anymore, can you? That's just. It's a good movie, though. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, cool. So, gosh, yeah. I mean, tell you about when I ordered this. I ordered this. They announced this figure back when the episode of The Mandalorian came out that featured this character for the first time. That's how long ago that this thing was pre-ordered. I mean, when was The Mandalorian on? That was a while ago. It's from season 2 or something. Yeah, so I have The Mandalorian X-Woves. It's one of Bo-Katan's compadres there. So, yeah, that's a cool figure. I kind of, to be honest with you, not that I'm disappointed that I got it, but I'm kind of forgot that that was even a thing. Forgot that he was even coming out. So, yeah, sorry that it's, again, it's a little washed out there, but a little blurry like me. I'm always blurry. You'll watch when you look at the main camera, you could see that I just look slightly blurry. The background looks great. We've tried everything. We've tried different settings. We've tried all kinds of things. And I'm just always blurry. I guess I'm like Bigfoot. It's a problem with Bigfoot. It's not the photographer's fault that they can never get a good shot. He's just blurry. So anyway, yeah, X-Woves figure. That's pretty cool. Happy with that. And yeah, I got that quite a while ago. Like I said, that probably came in like September, early October, something like that. All right. Moving right along. I have Muppets on the brain because last week I was in Atlanta to perform at a festival with November's Doom. And literally right down the street from where we were staying and the venue where the festival was being held was a museum for puppetry. Now, anybody that knows my silly ass knows that I love puppets. All kinds of puppets, marionettes, all that. But of course, I am particularly fond of Muppets. And this museum actually had a whole section dedicated to Jim Henson stuff. So it was The Muppet Show, Sesame Street, Sam and Friends, Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, freaking Fraggle Rock, all of that stuff. And it was super, super cool. So if you're ever in Atlanta and you're looking for stuff to do and you think that that might be kind of fun, it was a lot of fun. All right, so another box here from Target. And since most of the stuff I order from Target usually is Star Wars related, it is no surprise that this is a Star Wars figure. And it is The Mandalorian and Grogu from Maldo Kreis. So it has that creepy ice spider creature thing. See that? Yeah. Megan's making faces at it. But the interesting thing about this is, again, going back to what I was saying before about how long ago it was that I ordered it. I actually have for several months now, for a while now, have long since stopped collecting the Black Series figures. Now, that's not any kind of protest to them because not liking them. I still think they look great. I think this figure looks excellent. It's nothing to do with the product being... Yeah, Carrie says, saw that one in the store and was super expensive. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't super expensive when I ordered it. I wouldn't have ordered it if it was super expensive. But here's a nice closer up look for you if you want to check that out. But just generally, there's so many of these Black Series figures coming out, and now we're at the point where we're getting a lot of re-releases and re-releases, and I mean, how many versions of Darth Vader do I really need? You know, I just don't. I've got so many really cool ones already, and I just can't afford to keep up with these anymore. I've been way more into the vintage collection figures, like that X Woves that I just showed a moment ago. Those are still, you know, those you can usually get for like $12, somewhere around that and less. So with a few exceptions. So I still am pretty much into the vintage collection, but when it comes to these guys, the Black Series, I just can't. But I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. I ordered this back when when this was first announced, and I think The Mandalorian was new. It was like season 2 at least was on the air, and yeah. So I finally got it. I'm not disappointed in it. I think it looks great. I think that's pretty cool. See a little Grogu there and everything. And yeah, simple. It's typical size and everything of the deluxe Black Series figures. It's a cool figure, but yeah, I don't know. Like Carrie was saying, you know, it's super expensive. If you see this thing and it's going to cost you like $30 or something, I leave that up to your discretion. I don't know necessarily that I would spend $30 on this thing. If I recall, I got this much cheaper than that. It was either on sale or something, I forget. But yeah, I even when I was regularly collecting Black Series figures, I wouldn't spend $30 on something like this. That's just way too expensive for the likes of moi. So, all right. So we got more people. Billy, what's going on, Billy? I think the only Star Wars figure I'd buy now is one of Black Chrysanthemum. Such a badass. I have the Black Chrysanthemum figure. Oh, I wish I would have known. I would have brought him down. I've got him upstairs. I've got the Black Series one of him. I got him. Oh, I probably got him back during the summertime. He was in a really, really cool comic artwork style box and everything. And that one was a little bit more expensive. I might have spent $24 or something on that, $25, something like that. But that one I feel was worth it. It looks really sharp. So yeah, I'm with you. That's a super cool character and cool figure. And yeah. So moving along again, what do I have here? Oh, okay. This is from Entertainment Earth. So, gosh, I haven't gotten an Entertainment Earth package in a while. This one must have came a while back. And again, I couldn't tell you what this is. Odds are usually pretty good that it's Star Wars, but could be Joe. Because I did order a lot of G.I. Joe stuff at one point. Oh, no, okay. Oh, wow, really? This was one that I had ordered. I found it on sale. This is not like a new figure by any chance. This one came out earlier in 2022. I never picked them up. And then Entertainment Earth had it was like a flash sale or something that was going on, and they had a bunch of their Star Wars vintage collection figures were marked down, and I got this for really cheap because, again, I think these vintage collection Star Wars figures usually go for, what are they now, guys? They're like $12.99 brand new on average, somewhere around there. And I think I got this for like $7, like $7.99, $7 or $8. So it's funny because when I was a kid, this was like, if any of you are familiar with the term, peg warmers, means the toys that just hang around on the pegs forever. Anybody that shops at Meijer stores can tell you about peg warmers because Lord knows Meijer will get new toys in, and if they don't sell out, they will sit on the shelves for the next 3 freaking years. But this was a peg warmer back in the day. I always thought he was pretty cool, though, because I was really into the Bespin and Cloud City stuff from Empire Strikes Back. So it is none other than everybody's favorite bald guy, Lobot. Don't say a damn word, but, he has quiet intensity. But yeah, so I got me a Lobot. And again, it was one of those ones, not that I dislike Lobot, but it was just another one of those ones when he came out that I was like, I'm not in a big hurry to drop a bunch of money on that guy. But then when I saw that Entertainment Earth had him on sale one weekend, he's kind of blurry. Sorry about that. When I saw that Entertainment Earth had him, then I said, okay. And you know what? Like, looking at him now, I mean, he's a really excellent figure. He's really well done. I mean, he's kind of, people can bag on him and stuff because it's just Lobot, and they say, well, that's pretty much that's a very secondary character, to say the least. However, when you consider the massive amounts of other nonstop no-name droids and 50 bazillion trooper figures, although I love my trooper figures, but you get a lot of, and then just like repaints and all that kind of stuff. It's nice to finally get more of the classic figures, because I got Lobot, if I recall correctly, I got Lobot one Christmas back in 81, maybe, because he was part of the Cloud City playset that came out from the Sears Christmas catalog. Anybody who knows me knows I'm crazy about them Sears Christmas catalogs. So, I've got sentimental attachment to him. I just wasn't going to spend a lot of money on him. But now I got him. The poor guy's been sitting in a box for weeks and weeks. But welcome home, Lobot. All right. So, anyway, Scott, you had Lobot? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's funny because you look at a lot of the old figures from back in the day, and you look at some of the choices they put out there of some of these characters that we had no backstory on them, and a lot of them didn't really do a whole hell of a lot in the movie, but hot damn, we needed to have those characters, It was like I had every Star Wars character up to a point, up until sometime in Return of the Jedi, because then I got a little old for it for a while there. But yeah, I had every Star Wars figure, and it was important for me because we would play with these things. They didn't just sit on a shelf, at least for most of us. We'd play with them, and I got that silly cardboard Cloud City playset that, it was flimsy printed cardboard, but I thought that thing was absolutely amazing, and I played with it till it fell apart. Literally, it just fell apart because it was pretty flimsy, but it looked cool. And, you couldn't play Cloud City Empire Strikes Back action stuff if you didn't have Lobot there. It was missing. I got so excited about the Cloud Car pilot. Like, everybody, teases about, who cares about the Cloud Car pilot? I don't think you ever even saw him in the movie, and I'm like, I think he's badass. I love the Cloud Car pilot. I thought he was pretty cool. And I wanted two of them to fit in my Cloud Car. So, moving along here. Okay, here's another Hasbro Pulse. Bozo the Clown says, boring. Well, you know what? I know you're an imposter, because the real Bozo the Clown would never say that. I grew up in Chicago watching Bozo all the time. So, junk. Okay, sure. Yeah. And see ya, Bozo. Makes me think of that part in Ruthless People. All right, Bozo, put down the gun. Yeah. The funny thing is, and maybe this is boring, but the funny thing is, you're the stupid asshole trolling YouTube channels, sitting there watching the video, so you can say boring. You'd think you'd have better things to do with your time. So, to quote Peter Steele, so who's the real asshole here, huh? All right. So, this package. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in this one. Nice. Yeah, this is a slightly more recent one. It came a while back. I had put in the pre-order for a bunch of new G.I. Joe classified figures. And a bunch of them came in. So we've got, let's see. Hang on. It's easier if I do the close-up cam for y'all. All right, we've got, which one is this? Because there's twins. This is Zammot. Anybody that's familiar with late 80s Joes knows that there were these Cobra twins, Tomax and Zammot, and this is Zammot. This is one of the twins. And, yeah, they did a really good job with him. And as usual with the classified figures, it has the awesome artwork on the back of the package. And it looks cool. And because I couldn't have one of the twins, I had to have both. Here's the other guy. Yep, so Tomax and Zammot. So again, I don't know if people remember these. Some of you are old enough to remember these from the G.I. Joe cartoons and the awesome commercials. Man, does anybody remember the G.I. Joe commercials that used to come out back in the 80s? They even did commercials, animated commercials for the comic books. I think it was the first time a comic book had ever been advertised on television like that. So, Mike Reese, who wants a body massage? It wouldn't be right to talk about G.I. Joe if we didn't bring up the G.I. Joe PSA spoofs. Body massage. Yeah, well, these guys I don't think wanted a body massage, or these guys were just trying to take over the world along with Cobra Commander. Anyway, yeah, very happy with these. Hey, Joe, welcome into the chat. Sorry, Carrie and I are late. That's okay. And Kim, pork chop sandwiches. Me and my buddy Adam, who plays drums with me in one of my bands, we're constantly on stage quoting the G.I. Joe PSAs to everybody else's chagrin. And last but not least, out of that box, we have one of my all-time favorite characters. It is Lonzo, a.k.a. Stalker. I love the original G.I. Joe team. I started reading G.I. Joe with the first issue back in the summer of 1982. And those first like 20 to 30 issues of G.I. Joe were absolutely amazing. So Stalker was one of the original team members, and he was a favorite of mine, especially in certain issues like G.I. Joe 6 and 7 when they have the whole thing with the Russian team that they're up against. And I won't give away the surprise ending of that series, that comic book, but it was, when I was a kid, it blew my mind. It was super cool. So yeah, you can see it's a sharp looking figure. They need to make the fridge in that size, Scott Tucker says. Dude, I'm sure if they can get licensing rights for it again and everything, I'm sure they will. They made Sergeant Slaughter, and he came out at the same time, and he was a real life person turned into a G.I. Joe character. So I'm sure they will do the fridge if they're able, because people, just like Slaughter, people still love the fridge, man. Fridge, William Refrigerator Perry. Man, that brings back memories of being a kid in Chicago, being into the Bears. I saw that Bears Super Bowl 20 live when it happened. It was awesome. Anyway, all right. We've still got a few more boxes here, but we're whittling away. Hang on, I'm going to move this before everything topples down. We had a toppling incident here earlier. I was real worried I was going to break all my glasses. I got some really cool stuff. Oh, in fact, I'll just show G.I. Joe. Okay, you need to go away, bozo. You're just, what are you, 12? Remove. Yeah. Message deleted. And hide user on this channel. Yeah. So, see you, bozo. Don't waste your time. Fucking goofballs. like literally nothing better to do with their time. It's all right. It keeps it kind of interesting. I should just pull out I've got the Bozo Funko Pop over here somewhere. But oh yeah, I was gonna say I got these awesome glasses not too long ago. That we went to the what the hell's the name of that King County Toy Show, and I found the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom glasses. You don't see these. Like, Meg and I especially are always looking for these glasses. Like, not just Indiana Jones, but just in general, we're always looking for character glasses and stuff. And we're, being that we're both Indiana Jones fans, especially Meg. Meg's a huge Indiana Jones fan. So we're always looking for Indiana Jones stuff. And Jess and I were at the King County show, and I found somebody who was selling very affordably the entire set, and I've got all 4 of them. But I'm not going to show them off now because this is about unboxing, and we have plans for an episode coming up soon. Perfect to store your hearts in. Yep. You do in the old High Priest Mola Ram. Yep, that's his name. Put all your hearts you rip out of people's chests right into this glass. Like stupid ass Bozo the Clown that was there. Desecrating my beloved Bozo the Clown. Man, you don't do that. Bozo was a favorite when I was growing up. Bozo and Cookie and Wizzo. Cuddly Dudley. Ray Rayner with miscellaneous post-it note things stuck all over his clothes. People are like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm showing my age is what I'm doing, because those episodes, Ray Rayner and all that, is going way back. All right, so we got a package here from Walmart, and oh, awesome. I was actually really looking forward to these. Speaking of, this kind of goes along with the Lobot figure that I showed earlier. These were Walmart exclusives, and they are the Caucasian and the non-Caucasian Bespin security guards. Yeah, this presumably African American or British African. I'm not sure. I don't know who played the security guard. Well, he has a name. Isdam Edian. Okay, cool. They were always just Bespin security guards when I was growing up. And this one is it Helder Spinoza. Oh, cool. Is he supposed to be? That's awesome. So he's not even Caucasian. Is he supposed to be like a Latin? Some form of... That's awesome. I love to see more of that, man. Much more of that in not only the Star Wars universe, but just in geekdom in general. That's awesome. Here you go. Oh, I love these figures. Again, I know these are figures that people say, well, these weren't like, important characters or whatever, but I love this stuff. Huh? Is it blurry? A little blurry? Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to get it to, maybe I'll, you know what? I can even fix that, I think, with the settings. Properties. Let's see what happens here. I'll try to fix this for you folks. But anyway, while I'm doing that, I can talk about these. When I was a kid, I guess I was a weird kid because I was always really into a lot of these extra characters. I loved like army building. Is that a little better? No, not. We'll give it a second yet, but I was into these extra characters that they would come out with. It was hard getting my parents to agree to buy me. They'd say, well, you already have that character. It's like, but I need more of them. I need to make like a little battalion of them. But anyway, these are figures. These are not available just anywhere. These are right now, as far as I know. I think you could only get them at Walmart, and then I think they're available on Entertainment Earth. I would love if these do become available at other places like Papo Loco and stuff, because they're tough to get, and I hate ordering from Walmart, to be honest with you. I'm very fortunate that these came out in safe condition, because I've had such terrible luck with ordering from Walmart lately, with the packages being just totally destroyed. And yeah, so anyway, very cool. Very happy with those characters. Awesome. All right. Again, moving along. So I know some of you guys out there are into collecting stuff just like I am. Hey, Joe. Oh, Joe, you got to sign off? Oh, that's a shame. Well, happy to see you and Carrie. Hope you guys are doing good. Seems like you guys have been going out and doing a lot of fun stuff lately, and that's awesome. Do it now before it gets too cold to go anywhere. But, yeah, if any of you guys have, like, let me know in the chat. Is there any, like, new stuff that you've been picking up? It doesn't have to just be toys. It could be any kind of geeky collectible stuff. Is there anything you've picked up or something that you've been looking at that you're like, I really want to get that? Because I would love to know, and we will talk about it here. This is, this box, for a little change up, is from Super 7. I'm sure many of you know who Super 7 are. They're that awesome company based on the West Coast that makes all those retro style figures of different properties. They do a lot of, I collect a lot of their classic monsters, and they do a lot of like the Iron Maiden and Slayer and Agnostic Front and all their like characters. Motorhead, they've done a lot of that kind of stuff. And oh, they've hacked this up really good. Oh, and oh, awesome. I forgot I had this. And speaking of all that, Motorhead and Slayer and all that stuff, this was something that, man, I just had to get this when I saw they were making one of these, because of who it was and what this, I can't say character, because although he was a character, person meant to me in real life. It is none other than the Major Rager. Yes, Scott already saw it. Cliff Burton, the Major Rager, in the 4-inch action figure format. Look at that, dude. So I'm sure I don't need to tell anybody, but for those that might be watching and are going, I don't know who that is. Cliff Burton was the, I'd say the original bass player for Metallica. I know Ron McGovney came before him, but you know, most people don't count Ron. By the time Metallica started putting albums out like Kill 'Em All, they had Cliff, and Cliff was massive on the, not only on the influence on the other guys in Metallica and what they came to be, but massively influential to a bunch of the rest of us. Big time. Even though I know people predominantly consider me a guitar player, I play a lot of bass. I've played bass in many projects for years now, and Cliff Burton is absolutely one of my biggest influences, because he could be so aggressive, but then he had such an amazing sense of melody. He understood music theory, and he applied it into what was a very primal, primitive form of music, which was speed and thrash metal. And he changed the game, because Metallica wouldn't sound the same if it wasn't for this guy right here. And sadly, I know I've told this story before on the channel, Cliff Burton died in September of 1986 in a horrible bus accident. Here's the figure. In Sweden, when the bus ran off the road and Cliff fell out of the bus, and the bus landed on him and killed him, hopefully instantly, because that's a terrible way to go. And I never met Cliff Burton. I was only a kid when I first saw him back in 1985, but I have friends who actually did know Cliff Burton personally, and guys like my buddy Ron from Trouble and stuff and everything, and spent time with Cliff, and everything I've ever heard from people who actually met Cliff said he was one of the greatest guys. So heartbreaking, but it might seem silly to get an action figure of him, but I mean, look at it. He's got the Misfit Skull shirt on. Oh man, I'm sorry, pardon my language, but that is just so fucking badass. I absolutely love this. Worth every penny. classic picture of Cliff on the back. That looks like that might have been taken at the Day on the Green Festival in 1985. I'm not sure about that. I can't say for certain, but I've seen a lot of pictures and video from that. So anyway, I won't dwell any longer on this. I know we got to get moving, but look at that. Plus, I love the fact that they used the Ride the Lightning motif with the blue and the white and everything, because Ride the Lightning is my favorite Metallica album. Even more than Master of Puppets, which I know some people think is blasphemy. I don't care. But anyway. Oh, this one's heavy. Let's see. We only got a couple more here. This one. Oh, awesome. Okay, here's something a little different. So, there is, you know what, real quick, before I move on, I see that there's people talking in the chat. I don't want to ignore you because I asked you to talk. Let's see. Yeah, Cliff, I have an addiction to buying movies, especially around Black Friday. Oh, man. Yeah, there's all sorts of cool stuff that comes out at Black Friday. I was buying a lot of movies, a lot of like Blu-rays and stuff like that for a while there, and then just, again, had to like chill out on that because there was so many special editions, and things that were coming out. One of the things I was just looking at it, I realized is I don't have, there's a few things I don't have on Blu-ray. And I know that you can watch them in streaming, but it's not quite the same thing. A lot of my nerdy early 80s stuff, like I don't have the Flash Gordon movie on Blu-ray, which is just a crime because I'm pretty sure I put that in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Meg's got a look on her face like, yeah, you did. Things like that I would love to get. Things like Krull, Excalibur. I don't have Excalibur, so yeah, I always kind of keep an eye out, and especially on Black Friday, if they come out with any like really good deals, then it might be worth doing it. But I can't be dropping like $30 on Blu-rays and stuff anymore like I used to. I can't be dropping all the money I do on this stuff. They're very expensive this year, though. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Everything's gotten expensive. It's the other reason I'm laying off of a lot of this stuff. Ride the Lightning was your favorite too, Scott? See, we got us old guys. We got good taste. All right, so this is a box from Cotswold Collectibles. Now, this is going to be a little less familiar to a lot of you compared to things like Super 7 and Hasbro and stuff. Cotswold is a company, they've been around for a while now, and what they mainly focus on are toys, action figures, dolls, essentially, dioramas, different stuff that can be used with vintage, and I mean, we're going vintage now, G.I. Joe toys, talking from like the 1960s, the old 12-inch line. That was kind of their main focus and still is to a degree, but they've really branched out and they've got all different kinds of stuff. They focus on hyper-articulate and slightly more realistic toys that are based on war stuff, historical stuff. It's really cool. It moves a little bit away from like the typical sci-fi fantasy, although they do have some of that. Now, I don't talk about this stuff too much because I'm not as into it as I once was. But when I was a kid, me and my friend David, who it's unfortunate David isn't in the chat right now because he would dig this stuff. My friend David and I were always really into like the army type stuff. We had the what was it, the Guns of Navarone mountain thing with the little army men, all that stuff. We loved G.I. Joe, both G.I. Joe. We loved the big G.I. Joes and the smaller ones. So I still buy this kind of stuff now and then when I can. I found this. This is actually kind of like the secondary thing I got in here. There's another thing that's in this box that is super awesome. But I got this because it was on sale and I just thought it looked really cool. And it's just a Total Soldier Storm Strike jet. Oh, it's got my name on it. Robert's Post-it note. Thank you. But yeah, this is from a series. Some of you have probably seen these before. The Core. C-O-R-P-S. And the Core has been around for a long time. But it was one of the things, they had a sale on a bunch of their core stuff through this. I got this thing, I don't know what it, $5 maybe? I think I got this thing for like $5. And I mean, this is just the kind of fun stuff. This isn't so much like a put it up on the shelf, keep it in the box kind of thing. This is the kind of thing that I want to open up and I'm probably going to play with and display a little bit and stuff. Yeah, and I'll show you here. I'll get the, if anybody's interested, I will do the close-up of this. Yeah. So here you go. You can see this jet here has sounds. You can add the missiles to it and everything. And yeah, I think, yeah, you might have to take it out of the box to get it to actually make the sound, or it might need new batteries. That's fine. Like I said, this isn't the kind of thing that it's not like a Black Series figure or something where it's like, oh, I'm keeping it in the package and blah, blah, blah. No, this is the kind of thing I get for fun. You know, I will display it, but just, you know, set up like model style. And they've got other things. But I saw this. There was something else on Cotswold that I was looking to buy. And then I happened to see that they were selling a bunch of these things. And I just thought this little jet fighter, you know, grew up being very well-informed about Air Force stuff and airplanes and things. Because my dad, that was his passion, was jets and wartime planes and bombers and fighters and stuff, modern and vintage. So I still have an affinity for these kind of things, hence why I got this. And again, for like $5, can't pass it up. So, oh, here we go. Yeah, the helicopter on there does look cool. That's why I said that core stuff, you know, it's not the kind of thing that most like hardcore like adult collectors are going to care about. I think those things are really made more for kids or for adults that want to set up dioramas. Like my best friend Nick, he collects stuff, but he's more into building diorama type things and stuff like that, more so than like the action figure type stuff. So those things are really cool. So the story with this is something that was available very, very briefly. There were G.I. Joes that came out back in the day, back in the 70s, 80s and stuff like that, that were available in other countries. And they weren't, I don't know that you could say that they were, I'm not sure. People that are more educated than I could probably tell you, but I don't know that these are knockoffs. I don't know that these were unofficial or not. It's hard to say back then because everything was licensing and things with the toy business was such a sketchy thing. But if I recall correctly, I want to say this was South American, but they got a batch of these in, and I believe this is a reproduction, like a newer version of it. But like you can even see, if you can see the writing on the box, you know, Falcon Futurista Vermelho. Sorry, I should be wearing my glasses. I can't really read this. It's super hard to read. But in any case, what it is, opening it backwards. It is a character named Falcon. Now, anybody that knows enough about these old Joes, the old G.I. Joes from the 70s, can say, wait a minute, looking at the style of that logo up there with the head over the sea and the colors and the style, and looking at the figure himself, that's G.I. Joe. Well, this is, to my understanding, this is like the South American G.I. Joe. I believe it's South America. Again, if I'm botching that. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, made in Brazil, it says. Okay. I love South America. I want to go back to South America very badly. We toured down there several years ago, and it was one of the best experiences ever. The coolest people in South America, man. The coolest fans, so cool. And they made really cool toys. So here, I got to give you a nice close-up of this. Okay, let's see. So here we go. Let me see if I can adjust this camera for you. There you go. That's a little better. So, Falcon. Yeah, I saw this. The always awesome and informative Brian Heiler from Plaid Stallions and Toy Ventures and Pod Stallions, Plaid Stallions, all that stuff. Mego Museum. Brian is the guy, you know, and especially when it comes to like a lot of this stuff, and especially like the weird foreign toys and the knockoffs and things like that. He's always on top of it, and he had posted a thing. I ordered this, I think, back when I was at NAMM, the NAMM convention in California, or it was just before, or maybe it was when I might have been when I was touring with the band. I happened to see this. Brian posted about this and was like, this is pretty cool. You guys should jump on this because I think there's very limited numbers of it. And yeah, if you go to look for this now, if you go on Cotswold Collectibles, I don't think this is even listed on there. I don't think it's available. Javier says, what year is that supposed to be around? Looks like mid-late 70s. Yes, I believe that is correct. Again, obviously, like this is a reproduction, like because this is a new one. You can see because it's got like on the bottom, it's got barcode and it's got like website information and stuff like that. This is a reproduction, but these did come out back in the day, and I had to get one of these reproductions, man. This nuclear version of them in red. I mean, come on, man. Look at this. Look how cool that is. I know some people go, well, that's pretty silly, but yeah, it ain't silly if you're like me and you grew up with these things back in the 70s. The box art is amazing. Look at that. There we go. It's focusing now. Yeah, and there's a lot of collectors that are really, really big on collecting the toys that were produced outside of and sold outside of the U.S. or even out of North America in general. Although Mexico and stuff has a lot of really cool toys. Canada has a lot of really cool stuff that was made that wasn't sold here in America. So, I mean, yeah, just all over. A lot of toys were available in different regions that were just super cool. And many of us didn't even find out these things existed until at least the 90s, if not into the internet age when we found out about stuff. So anyway, I got this guy. It was one of those things that I just had to order him immediately. They had a couple other different motifs of him, different colors, different style and everything. I couldn't afford to get all of them. I just wanted to at least get the one. So I got the one, and thank you so much, Cotswold, for making this available, because this is super cool and not the kind of thing that I could normally find. Yeah, superheroes for super adventures, yeah. But yeah, these originally came out, I would have said this was probably like late 70s, maybe even early 80s down in Brazil, but awesome. I've been really looking forward to opening that one up because I was excited to get this, and he's been sitting here for like a month now unopened. So now I can open him up, and once I go off air, I'm going to admire it and figure out where I can display him. Okay. What time is it? So we're, what, an hour in? All right, well, I'm wrapping this up shortly. So this is a box that comes from Hasbro. Pretty sure, I think these last two boxes are both from Hasbro. And these were ones that, again, yeah, this one came just recently, actually. And I said, now I had mentioned, it's in the description, and I said that I was going to have G.I. Joe as well as Transformers. Well, it's actually both. This is a super cool crossover toy. It is a Transformers version of the Cobra Hiss tank. So it comes with a retro style Baroness figure with Yeah, that looks awesome. So, yeah. Look at that. How cool is that, man? And it's hard to tell just watching on the video, but man, this is a pretty big box. I mean, it ain't no USS Flag or anything like that, but it's heavy. It's got some weight to it. And how does this work? It's in like, I see that it's got, because you know what? I'm going to open this. Because I'm sure people are going to be like, well, we want to see what's inside. And it's got this lift tab on here. And is there one on the back? Yeah, there's one on the back. Screw it. These are my toys. I'm not buying these things to sell or how much it's going to be worth on the aftermarket. I don't care. These are for me to enjoy. So I'm going to take these tabs off here. The one thing I don't want to do, if I can avoid it, is rip the packaging. So, yeah, isn't this... The guys are saying it's badass. Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to open this. Oh, God, there's more tabs. That's why. Well, at least it's well sealed. There's another tab on the bottom here. Come on, man. All right. Sorry. I'm starting to agree with Bozo. This is boring. There we go. Is there one more? There is one more tab. They tabbed it all the way around. At least they made these tabs fairly easy to remove. Yeah, I'm not even going to put these things back on there. So, all right. Check it out. So here we go. So this, as you can see, comes apart. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting a brown box inside. But it's kind of cool the way they did it. So it says Hasbro on the one side, but then on the other side it says top secret. So that's pretty neat. And on the bottom of the box it says 2022 Megatron His Tank. So I'm going to see if I could figure out how to open this. I'm so bad at this. There we go. It's very tight. I could do a "that's what she said" joke, but I won't. Oh, awesome. That's really cool. Okay. So, yeah, Meg, if you want to hold that for me, I'll get the close-up cam going. And as you can see here, you want to lower that camera just a little bit, tilt it down for everybody to be able to see. There you go. Yeah, so it's Megatron, and you see it comes with other parts and stuff, and I'm sure there's parts underneath here as well, but he turns into a HISS tank, and I think that is pretty freaking cool. Let's see. I will lift this part out. All right. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. And then, yeah, there's just, you see the parts in the back. So then the Baroness figure is carded and protected inside. So she's not just like, you know, in the old G.I. Joe vehicles and figures, the driver would come in a little plastic bubble on a small like red backer card. It was just kind of plain. This, they actually, you could kind of see the plastic protecting it. I'll be able to open this later and pull out the entire carded figure, which is actually probably what I'm going to do, because I want to be able to display her and everything. So I'm probably going to take her out, put her on display with my other guys like I have, you know, behind me that you might have seen earlier. We'll see about Megatron if I'm going to open him up or not. I may eventually. Right now, I don't have the room to display him open like that, and I really like that box. So I may be leaving Megatron Hiss in the box as he is for now, but that Baroness is going to come out and be displayed. And if anybody wants to see that, I will show it later. It's really, really packed in here, so... you know, I've already got clowns complaining to me that this is too boring, so it's going to take too long for me to to cut her out of here and everything. So that's something I could show another time if anybody wants to see what it looks like. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Definitely cool. I agree, Javier. I think it's very cool. All right. And I think there's only one more box. I don't know. I feel like after the last ones, after that the Falcon, whatever one, and that Megatron hiss, I don't know what this is going to be. I feel like it could be a letdown. Because those last two were just incredibly cool. All right. And this last one, yeah, I was right. This last one is from Hasbro Pulse. And I think I've had this one for some time now. I think this one's been sitting down here about as long as that Falcon figure was. Oh, no, you know what? Awesome. This isn't what I didn't think this was coming already. Wow, this is a surprise. Oh, man, this is an awesome way to end for me because I was under the impression that this toy that I'm about to show you was not supposed to be available. When I was just looking at it on Hasbro Pulse, it was telling me it wasn't going to be available till January 2023, but I have it, so I guess it's shipped early. And in the same vein of what we were just showing, it is not a letdown. It is. Look at that. It is the Bumblebee Transformer that turns into the AWE Striker. I was just talking earlier about how I've got the AWE Striker, the one that came from Walmart like a year or so ago, 2 years ago, whenever that came out. It was an exclusive there. So this one is just like that last one where it's got, dude, yeah, I agree. Isn't this cool? This one comes with a Stalker figure. Yeah, and he looks like, he's not even the new. He's just like the Baroness. He is the retro 1982 style Stalker figure. That is, again, pardon my French, that is fucking exciting because I don't have that figure in my, you see back here, I've got not all of them, but I've got a bunch of my original vintage G.I. Joe figures. I do not have Stalker, and he's very expensive. And if I want him on card, he's really expensive. So repro cards for me when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I do like the original figure. But in the meantime, that is awesome that I'm going to get this new retro collection version of it. That is killer. Okay. It's going to take too long to open up this box like I did the last one. I think you guys get the idea, but I will show you close-ups of the box and everything. I think you can kind of get the idea. There you go. Look at that. Oh man, that is so cool. I'm so glad I ordered these. Yeah, look how awesome that is. So that is the vehicle when it is in AWE Striker mode. And then there he is when he is in Autobot mode. I am very, very happy. Oh, man, that's great. I'm glad I didn't even plan that. I had no idea. I did not know that's what was in this box because, like I said, I was under the impression that this was not coming out yet. I knew that the Baroness Megatron one, I knew that was coming out because, again, I saw people over on the Cracktastic Plastic forum talking about how they got it, but maybe people got this one and I missed it, but I was not expecting to get this already. Like I said, when I just like 2 days ago was looking through my Hasbro Pulse orders to see what was still coming and what was on back order, et cetera, and they had this listed that it was supposed to come out in January of 2023. So I didn't think I was going to get this till after Christmas. So that is an early Christmas gift for me. So cool. And this, as you can see, this does the same thing. It's got the tape tab thing on the four sides. This will spread apart. I'm sure it's going to have the brown box inside, just like the Cobra one did. And then it's obviously got a carded. I'm definitely pulling out that carded Stalker, man. He's going to be going up on the shelf with the other carded guys. That is exciting. I don't think when I ordered these, I realized that they were supposed to be like the retro ones. I don't know why I had it in my head that they were going to be the retro, the retro style ones they've been coming out with that are generally designed to look like old G.I. Joes, but they have like way more articulation, updated molding and stuff like that. The ones that are kind of like in between the classifieds and the retro. I don't know why I thought that was what it was going to be. I didn't realize they were going to literally be like the reproduction ones. So super awesome. Very, very, very happy with that. That is a good way to wrap this up. Yeah. So again, yeah, I know that, you know, all the bozos out there that sit there and say, you know, this is boring. You're just watching you open. Well, yeah, it's kind of the nature of it. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to open these up and see my first reactions to these things, getting to see them for the first time and everything. Everything I opened was cool. These last 3 packages, especially these last 2, the Transformer G.I. Joe hybrids, man, super cool. Really glad I ordered those because those look great. They're going to look really cool. Displaying them. Javier says, just seeing those toys makes me want to play with them. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole point of this, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say I sit here and play with my toys all the time and stuff like that, because I don't. You know, I like to display them and clean them up and fix them, especially G.I. Joes need fixing and cleaning up a lot of times. I enjoy doing that almost more like a hobby builder, you know. It's kind of like making models and things like that. I just like to do it with these toys. I you know, but the idea is that it's supposed to encourage that kind of enthusiasm and bring that spark back into you, you know. Like that's what I said, when I see these things with that old logo like that, when I see that, it just takes me right back to being, you know, 9 years old again. And it's fun. It's a cool, fun thing. I don't collect, like I said, I don't condemn anybody for how they want to collect. If they want to be a toy dealer, if they want to be a toy flipper, if they want to be a toy investor and they think they're going to get rich off this stuff, hey man, more power to you. If that's what you want to do, that's great. For me, I collect, I buy the toys that I get a thrill out of seeing and owning and putting up on a shelf. I'm going to be in the process of making all new toy displays and all that stuff to really properly display a lot of this stuff. And some stuff's going to be going into storage. And even that, I think a lot of stuff that I'm going to put into storage, I might be liquidating not because I want to make money, but because I'm just like, you know, if I'm not going to appreciate it, then what's the point in having it? Here says I couldn't do it. I'd have to play with it. Well, some of these I am. Some of them I do. And there's certain things that I get specifically because I know I'm gonna play with them and, you know, and everything. I mean, at my age, I guess playing with it, it's really just kind of like posing them, cleaning them up, putting them on a shelf. I'm not exactly taking them out into the yard to have battles, but I'm not above it. Okay, I'm not above doing that. I've got an awesome rescue team play set over here that's got all sorts of like cool toys, and that's going to be played with, man. And I think maybe someday when I open that up and everything and I display and you know, have fun with it, maybe I'll put it on video. You guys can play with me, huh? But anyway, yeah, that's it. This was just like a little, do you ever get like background sets? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the thing I was just talking about, the City Fire play set I have over there is exactly that. I mean, it's got characters, it's got vehicles and things like that, but it also has like diorama type stuff and everything. That's a lot of fun to have and play with. I don't get a ton of these things just because, again, they take up a lot of space. My goal is that I want to get things more organized and have more space for this. Oh, you want to show? Here, I'll show you real quick, but I'm going to, like, see, I love toys like this. Here, I'll show you. I'm going to have to shout at you because this thing is huge. But look at this. There's so much cool stuff in here. And, you know, this isn't the kind of thing that people collect. Like, this isn't the thing that people think like, oh, that's going to be worth a ton of money down the line. I don't care, man. I see something like this. This reminds me of Fisher-Price Adventure People sets from when I was a kid, which is the Fisher-Price Adventure People toys are easily in my top 5 favorite toys of all time. They're just, I played with them so much. They really inspired the imagination, and I loved that it was toys based around real life things. You know, this is about fire rescue kind of stuff. I love this kind of stuff. I don't buy a lot of it because, like I said, it's space consuming. But this set was like so cheap. It's like the kind of thing that isn't considered to be like super desirable by most people. And it's the kind of thing that they buy kids just to play with for a weekend or a little while. And then it gets beat up in the yard and forgotten about. But I love this kind of stuff. And I encourage people to buy this sort of stuff for their kids because I think it does inspire them and spur on their imagination. You know, it can't always be about cell phones and cell phones. Even I'm saying cell phones, show my age. Can't be about smartphones and iPhones and tablets and virtual everything. Sometimes they need to have those tactile things like that to inspire them. And, you know, it did me. It did inspire me when I was a kid. Kind of reminds me of what Will Ferrell in Lego movies set up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love the Lego movies. Meg loves the Lego movies and stuff. So, anyway, yeah, I won't keep harping on and on and on. It's time to go. I didn't want this, since this is just me showing off boxes of toys, I didn't want to make this ultra long. But I thought this would be kind of like a fun little stopgap. Meg yells at me and says, don't tell them about things we're planning, because then when things go wrong, then we look even worse and stuff. However, we mentioned in the last top 5 episode where we talked about our favorite Halloween candies and junk foods and stuff like that, we mentioned that we were going to be doing something else coming up, and we are going to do it. I'm not going to give you the specific date, but we'll say it should be, if everything goes accordingly, our next top 5 thing is going to, with me and with myself and Matt and Megan, is going to be hopefully the week after Thanksgiving. Everything's just too crazy between now, you know, for those of us that are in the United States and celebrate these sorts of things with the holidays coming up. There's just too much going on for the next week and a half. So after that, we're going to get back here. We're going to do a top 5, and we'll be announcing that soon once we get everything locked in for sure. After that, we've got some fun things I mentioned in the last episode that I really would like us to get together and do a second installment of our Christmas catalog memories and looking over the Christmas catalogs. We've got a better setup now than the last time when Meg and I did that. Plus, we've got Matt involved. Oh, Mike says we still need to do a Sgt. Pepper movie review. Dude, I'm game. I know you want to do it. I know our buddy Eric Kiki wants to do it. He's a big fan. I'm game. We just got to figure out a good time to get all of us together. Pretty soon we may, hopefully everything goes, knock on wood, goes according to plan. We're going to be maybe moving our filming stuff to another location. So if that happens, it might even be more conducive to having more guests and stuff like that. If everything, fingers crossed, goes according to plan. Megan's giving me the look of death, saying, don't tell them anymore, because I always do that, but I don't want to jinx anything. So anyway, yeah, we will be doing that soon. Got a lot of music stuff. I'm still bandying about the idea of whether or not I want to start a whole separate channel just specifically for music, or whether I'm just going to have it be an offshoot of Geeking Poetic, just like Geeking Toyetic is and stuff. And we might just keep it all here under the one umbrella. Either way, it doesn't matter as long as we're putting out the cool content, right? Anyway, all right, guys. Yeah, fingers crossed, Mom says. Meg's just giving me this. She hates me. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. And thanks, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you hopefully shortly after Thanksgiving. So, bye-bye.